Holding anything out of our window sill really freaks me out. Hey everyone, Frosted Snow here. I literally just woke up. Ooh, and how do you like my new hairstyle? Today I am going to introduce to you the heart of our studio. Our spray booth. Cookie actually did all of the work to research, buy, and build this booth. We had mainly two concerns. One, size, and two, affordability. He wanted a large booth that he could actually work inside of because he makes mostly resin kits and there's a lot of heavy sanding involved and dust flying everywhere. And as you can see, this booth is pretty darn big. Like, I could fit inside of it. And we actually work inside of this booth. The second thing is we wanted a large booth to minimize overspray so that it doesn't stink up our house. We also wanted to keep costs down. Cookie did a lot of research on YouTube and Korean blogs, and we considered all kinds of different options, including pre-made booths, but they were either big and really expensive or too small for what we want if it was within our budget. We finally settled for this setup, which he found from a Korean YouTuber called Hobby Making, and I'll link the channel in the description below. It came with a scratch build design plan, which we had made with a local wood maker, and what we got was this wooden frame, and everything else like the fan and the ventilations were bought separately. Let's roll out and see some of Cookie's hard work. This was the wooden frame that we had made, and Cookie said he built it with glue and he put the nails in afterwards. So two different kinds of ways to adhere the parts. You can see here, this is our name tag from the old studio. This is Cookie. His name is actually Iguki, and here's me, Sharon. As you can see, the inside of our booth is really big. Here is my MacBook Pro 13 inches, and it fits super comfortably inside of there. And guys, thank you for your support. All the subscribers so far, really appreciate it. You guys are awesome, leaving me comments, so great. Inside of the booth, there is a kind of ventilation vent. Isn't that the same thing? And another one up here. This can be controlled, but we never really touch it. So there's two different ways to get that smell out of the booth. Also, we've got two lights in here. Okay, and they are connected like this. And Cookie said, I don't know, he's not like an electronics guy. He got everything and it was already like connected like that, and all he had to do was put it together. We keep a cutting mat inside of here and a clock to make sure we can see the time. We don't lose track of time while we're painting. And we have a little garbage bin where we keep our used like thinner Kleenexes and Q-tips, which, you know, for cleaning and stuff. I don't know why this brush is here, but we usually use these old brushes to clean up the inside of our airbrush after using it. And a little dropper here. We don't really use that when we're airbrushing. I just use it when I'm doing enamel hand painting. And we have this tray setup, which can actually fit 2 airbrushes if we ever need. This is actually mine. My personal one. Cookie had another one, but I like this guy. I don't know, some of them are really high, and if they're too high, I feel like it's kind of flimsy, and a lot of them are metal, and I just don't like that hard, cold feel, so I went for a plastic, and we've stuck it on to here. Oh, also, yes, we also got this acrylic I don't know what you call this, plate to put on top of the booth. As you can see, it gets really dirty. And here is an old bottle of thinner, which we use to pour used thinner into. Also forgot to mention something really important is this box of wipes, and we use this instead of regular wipes because I don't know if it's a Korean thing, but they are really concerned about dust getting into the color cups. So whenever if we wipe it down, we use this dust resistant wipe. The airbrush that I use is the Mr. Hobby Pro Boy 0.3 airbrush. This is pretty much the standard airbrush that's used in Korea. Most studios use this airbrush. Almost everyone uses this because it's like really good quality for the price. And this is my own airbrush. Cookie had one before in the old studio, but he basically ruined it after having used it for a few years. He tried to get it fixed, but it was just like at the end of its life. And this is my personal one. I've been using this myself for a year and with Cookie for another year, and it's been really good. I really like this airbrush, and I haven't tried anything else. I don't know if more expensive airbrushes are actually worth the money, but this is our go-to airbrush. Now looking at the rest of the booth, we normally keep it like this because I just find the tubing and the setup really ugly. So this is how it normally looks without the blanket. You can see this is actually a sirocco fan, and this is where the fan is. It's actually, this thing was not a fan, it's just like a vent. And so this does all of the work, and it sucks the air from both of these vents, one on the side, one on the top, and they are secured with this. Guys, I didn't build this kit, so I don't know the technical names for all of these, but I'm gonna try to link you up to as many of them as possible. You just pull this tight and put this nail in. And we ordered these separately as well, I believe from the vent, and it sucks the air out into here. If you can see, there's two tubes, and there's one large tube which comes from this sirocco fan, and a small tube which comes from this actual fan. Now this is an actual fan. Our setup is a little strange. We should actually get a plug here that has a switch for each individual plug, and we actually have one, but I've just been too lazy to change it. This fan is unplugged at the moment because it's so loud, but when we're painting, you just plug it in and it goes. And the purpose of this fan is to just get anything, if there's any overspray, it takes it out. And guys, there is overspray. I don't know, people on YouTube were all like, oh, we have this really big booth and we actually use it in our bedroom. Like, someone actually sprays in their bedroom and they say there's no smell. I believe that's totally not true. Like, we have this big booth. We have 3 different forms of ventilation, and it still smells. It still smells. If you think this is overkill, we actually really do make good use of this fan. We always turn it on where we're painting. And then we have another switch here, which then turns on the sirocco fan, and that works these 2 vents. I've got a bit of thinner in here, and I'll turn my airbrush up to the max. I'm sitting a bit back right now, and I can smell the thinner, okay? I'm a bit outside of the booth. Normally, we would paint all the way in here. Most of the time, there isn't a smell if you spray deep enough within the booth. Right now, you can see across from our building how the tubes just come out of the window like this. We've taped this here just because there's a little bit of crack, and I just feel cold and it just makes sense to seal this up as much as possible. So we have taped this up. Holding anything out over a window sill really freaks me out, but okay, so you can see that's our setup, and we're able to do it because across from us, I mean, we have neighbors there, but they're not really right across from us. Right across from us, actually, what we have are just stairs to this building. So we're really lucky that we're able to do this in our home. This might not be such a concern in North America, but in Korea, everything is so up close together. If we had neighbors right across from us, we might not have been able to set this up. Under the table is where our compressor is. Is this a more interesting way to shoot this? This is actually like a, I don't know what you call it. It's something you're supposed to wrap around your shoulders and it keeps you warm, but my feet gets cold and this whole area is really cold because of all the fans and vents. You can adjust the temperature and then just turn it off. I just get cold really easily. This is where all our plugs are. We've got all our internet stuff, and we also use this as a just a footstool, which is what I usually use it for. I don't think Cookie does that. And we put it inside of this just because we live in a villa, which is like a 10-story apartment, and we didn't want the vibration to disturb our downstairs neighbors. And here is our compressor. It was an unused secondhand product. You know, Cookie and I are not really like fussy PSI people. I know people change the PSI to their airbrush every time they I don't know, they spray something different, but this is what we keep it on, and you can see it's at around 25 right now. And oh, of course, all this soundproof stuff. He really went to great lengths to make sure that we didn't get complaints from people downstairs. And this is the tube from the compressor leading out into our airbrush. Hey, this is Cookie's retired airbrush. Didn't realize it was here. If you can't tell, we are so concerned with ventilation and not having a stinky house that we've also got this set up here. Cookie likes to keep this fan. I don't know if it actually does anything, but he has this fan here. Sometimes we keep it at the doorway just to get the ventilation going and the air circulating faster. And this is our air filter, which actually the air filter needs to be changed out. We used this for a year before it finally told us that the filter needed to be changed. This is a new blade. Oh well. Wow, it's actually little like pieces of charcoal in here. No instructions, guys. No instructions. The back. Keep that air clean. Why is it red? Your likes, comments, and subscription helps this channel grow on YouTube and puts me on the path towards making more videos. Thanks everyone. Bye!